Hello everyone and welcome to week 1 action of STFU Spartans 2013 season where they face off against the Ames Academy Bolts. Chip Pipkins here with you today alongside Desch Belvadeir. Desch, what do you think we can expect from the Ames Academy Bolts?
Well, I think we've got here is a pretty good game. That's about it.
That's all you have to offer. Well, thanks for that. He's the best colored commentator in the business for a reason, folks. So, without further ado, we have the STFU Spartans taking on the Ames Academy Bolts, and the pregame show is over, and the Ames Academy Bolts are getting ready to take the field. Do you think the Bolts have any chance of winning this game today, Desch?
Oh, they might have a little bit of a chance. I don't know if their fans aren't rooting pretty hard, so.
Well, that guy's got hair sticking out of his head, so. Out of his hat, so I don't really know if they even knew how to dress themselves coming out to
Here they go, running out of the gate. A lot of motivation.
I don't know if they're going to be able to take on Spartans. Spartans got a strong squad this year. We got pretty much everybody returning from last season. Actually, we've had the same squad for about 7 years now. I don't know how we've had 7th-year freshmen on our team, but we've managed to do that. This game is brought to you by Dove Men and Plus Care. Not only that, but by Depends undergarments.
Depends. The best a man or woman can get.
Correct. Couldn't have said it better myself. Also the choice of one professional wrestler, Hulk Hogan. All right. Well, looks like the Spartans have chosen to kick off, as always.
All right.
Do you think kicking off first is a smart move?
In this situation, I think it's an advantage for the other team. They're already at a disadvantage right now, saying they're playing the Spartans.
Ooh, what a hit. That looked like Justin Edwards there on the hit. He ranked first on the team last year in cup slaps. Now we're going down to other teams as Texas A&M beat up Le Cordon Bleu, the Bats. And we don't care about those teams because they suck.
I was also going to say he ranked first in butt slaps too.
Oh. See, that's a stat I didn't know about. You must have been behind the scenes to see that one.
Oh yeah, it's posted in the locker room. Just gotta go check it out.
You got a tally going?
Yeah.
They're really looking at that score for too long, so we're going to keep going here. So, the Spartans take defense. Who you got your eye on defense?
Not quite sure. They all look pretty good. The guy with the yellow line.
Oh, okay. The guy with the... Well, looks like the running back of the Ames Academy Bolts got off to a good start there with a 6-yard gain. Tell me, what do you think the Ames Academy Bolts will have to attack in order to be successful in this game?
Probably pretty much the defense. I don't know. They're having pretty good trouble trying to break through the front line right now.
I don't know. That 6-yard gain was probably going to be the best they're going to get all game. We'll see. Oh, a nice little pass there for 20 yards for the Bolts. Man, the Spartans really need to pull themselves together if they want to win this game. Get some rhythm at least, you know.
Check the snap. It's a good catch. He's down just shy of the 40.
And they're pretty excited about that. For good reason. Not too many teams can pull off big plays against this Spartans D. I really think that the weak spot in this team is the secondary, though. I think that we got Chris Cataldi on cornerback, and he seems to be like someone with ADD, it seems. And the quarterback takes off running.
Wow.
Wow, he gets like a 20-yard gain on that play. They cannot allow this to happen if they expect to win this game.
No.
And are you surprised by the fact that the Bolts are marching it right up the field like this?
Yes, I am. I can't imagine where the hell the Spartans are.
They didn't come out in full force, even though half the crowd today is dressed in red and white. I would have expected, you know, with this much of a showing, that they would have put up a little bit more of an effort in the early goings.
They're not performing like the usual Spartans they are. They're looking more like the Fartin Spartans right now.
Fartin Spartans. Oh, you're talking about the old team from 08 that underachieved and didn't quite make it. They made it to the Sun Bowl where they played in New Mexico, and they fell to the Temple Owls.
Yeah, that's precisely what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that season was pretty bad. They lost to the Lincoln Tech Lions that year in the conference championship game.
All right, here we go. We might have a change up. He hands off.
Oh, and a stop. Joel Goldstein on the tackle there. getting one of his many tackles that he normally has. He led the team in tackles last season. This season, he said that he's determined to increase his numbers, believe it or not, which seems like a pretty daunting task. Do you think that he might be successful in that?
Well, depends. If he can raise them above 1, then he's doing pretty good.
Well, there's Ty Hall on the, or as he wants to be called, Tylander. Now we're going to the studio update where DeVry is beating Miami by 1 point with 42 seconds left in the third. Do you think DeVry is going to beat Miami, or will Miami pull that upset?
I don't think Miami's got it in them this time.
You don't think so? Well,
DeVry is pretty damn good.
They are pretty good. They've been a rival. And on 4th down, the Bolts are going to kick the field goal. And it's up, and it's good. Straight down the middle. And the Ames Academy Bolts are off to a 3-0 lead here early in the first. The coach is definitely happy. Not so happy about his bald spot, but he's pretty happy. The Ames Academy Bolts kick it off, and David Quinones is receiving the kick.
Look at him go.
Look at
wow.
him.
It's almost like they can't stop him.
Yeah, until he got to the 30, and he hit a brick wall. Coach Fokker said that one of the main points that we need to work on this year is our return team. Well, we haven't had a return touchdown in quite some time now, at least in the last 2 years. The crowd's really into it. Hand off to Contreras, and he gets the first easily. He gets 12-yard gain on his first carry. Hopefully that sets the tone for the rest of the game.
That's really going to help him out. They need it.
I think that the block by Ethan Martin there helped.
Ethan Martin's never really been a good player. He just kind of sits in the background.
Yeah, he kind of does. He's a fullback. He sometimes pulls off that brilliant block every now and again.
I'm surprised they put him on first string this year. They usually keep him on the bench.
Yeah, usually they'll start Corrigan Contreras in place of him, but they decided to give Ethan Martin a chance and moved Corrigan out to tight end / wide receiver. So we'll see how that works out. Coach Fokker seems to know what he's doing, so
as long as he doesn't fuck it up.
As long as he doesn't fuck it up. 2nd down, Cepeda drops back to pass, and it's almost
knocked away.
Off. He could have had that.
Could have, but I didn't see very much try.
Third and 8 situation, you think it'd be a passing play near midfield.
That looks like exactly what they're going for in this play.
He goes for a deep pass. And Cody Fox has the catch. He is gone. Touchdown, Spartans. Well, just when you thought that the drive was about to stall out on 3rd and 8, Cepeda makes this huge play to Cody Fox and a beautiful catch in triple coverage. That was probably an ill-advised pass that he shouldn't have made, don't you think?
It was a very difficult play to make. He was guarded pretty well. He somehow managed to pull it out of his ass.
Yeah, I'd say so. You might only see 1 or 2 of those this season from Cody Fox. And the extra point is good. So, after that second drive, Spartans up 7-3. And
looks like they're trying to take a commanding lead in that first play.
Trying. That first drive was pretty impressive. It looked like they had them stopped, but the Spartans came out and did what they do best, and that's air out the ball. Poole kicks the ball deep into the end zone, and will he go?
It's good.
Well, he gets laid out by number 9, whoever that guy is. I don't know who that was, but it was definitely a good stop there. So at the 26, the Bolts will begin their drive. I'm really surprised at how many people turned out in red and white for the Spartans in enemy territory. The Bolts have been a long-standing rival of the Spartans, dating back to 1923, back when the Ames Academy Institute was the Ames Aeronautical Transportation Technological Institute, and they had their first ping pong match against each other, and it was a sellout crowd, believe it or not, and STFU ended up losing that. But now you see STFU's pretty much dominated the football scene.
That was back when they were sponsored by the Postal Service.
Really? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Was the Pony Express around back then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
You see the them riding chariots sometimes, pulling all their mail behind them. It was quite impressive. You could see a mailman throw a letter 50 yards, make it in the mailbox.
Did they ever recruit that guy for the football team?
No, they never did.
Man, if Coach Fokker was around back then, he would have been all over that.
I heard a few years later that guy went to war.
Really?
Yeah, became some big hero over there.
What war was that? Was that World War One or two?
That was one. And then and they made some shrine to him over there in Europe. But that was it.
I heard that guy bought, he had the most prostitute sales, I guess. He was kind of a pimp over there, too.
Yeah.
Kind of doubled over, because those guys didn't make a whole lot of money in the military.
Well, he did have a lot of carrier pigeons. Made a lot of revenue off that.
Oh, he did that too, huh?
And his statue actually shows him holding carrier pigeons all over him.
Wow.
To this day, it's prime resting grounds for several pigeon graves.
You learn something new every day, and there Mike Smith makes the stop in the backfield, and oh wow, look at Miami.
Oh wow.
You thought they weren't going to win. They're winning with 7 minutes and 33 seconds left in the fourth. They're up by 5. Hopefully DeVry can pull it out so it strengthens the Spartans' schedule when they do have to play them later on in conference play.
And they still have time to turn around.
Just a little bit. They got 7.5 minutes. They score a touchdown. They'll be in good shape.
Here we go.
All right, 3rd down and 10. This is a critical stop for the Spartans if they want to get to a better situation and a big lead. Oh, they're
really
throwing
need
it
that
deep.
first. Oh, wow. Interception.
Ty Hall with the big pick. Didn't get much on the yardage, though, but what a nice interception and a big play on 3rd down. And the crowd is definitely pleased. That guy needs a haircut. And if you want to look at the replay here, see how Ty Hall just kind of jumps right in front of the... Wow, he kind of cut off number 21 there from catching the ball.
He came out of nowhere, it looks like to me.
All right, so the Spartans line up after that ensuing that pass interception there that just happened. Zepeda's going to drop back the pass here. And he throws in a triple coverage.
Away.
You're only going to have that happen once a game where you throw in a triple coverage and your guy's going to come up with it. You can't be making those throws all the time, else you're going to lose games. The crowd's definitely
hands it off. Ooh.
Contreras only gets about 4 on the carry. So do you think Contreras is actually going to do pretty well this year?
I think so. He's seeing a lot of motivation actually getting out there and doing something he's not normally done.
He said that the problem this year was staying healthy. He said he's had a little bit of knee issues carried over from last season, and he said also he increased his intake of cosmic brownies, whatever those are, and that caused him to kind of slow down in his 40 times. So maybe he'll pick it up.
Well, now that he's sponsored by Monster, it seems to really be helping out for him.
Hey, you know, if he can get contingencies, even though as long as the NCAA doesn't know about it, then that's fine. If the NCAA finds out, they might try to suspend him or something, because that's not exactly legal. But you never know.
You're not supposed to lace it with cocaine like he does, but
yeah,
no one ever says anything.
Oh, and David Quinones just can't handle the ball. He should have had that. He had it in his hands, and he got rattled by the defender.
Usually known for handling his balls frequently, he just kind of lost that one.
Yeah, you know, if you handle your balls so frequently, you should be able to catch footballs, especially when you're open like that. So Zepeda gives him another chance, and he doesn't fail to deliver. He catches it and runs straight out of bounds because he's afraid of having his balls rattled again.
Like the natural ball handler he is.
He is a natural. And look at the leprechaun. He is dancing, having a good time there at whatever stadium they're at. And he's doing...
They're doing the standard curb stomp.
You know, I've never heard of that dance. Maybe I'm a little too old for that.
It was made popular in the 1980s.
Really?
Oh yes, early punk bands coming up doing the everyday curb stomp.
You know, I couldn't imagine a leprechaun doing it though back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, it was real popular in Ireland.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, I believe the Protestants started it over there in Ireland.
Wow. The Protestants. The Protestants are quite trendsetters. Anyway, Fox gets the handoff and he gains 2 yards. This running game sure isn't doing much today. Outside of that opening run of 12 yards, sure hasn't been much.
Oh, and here we go back to DeVry versus Miami.
Miami has just gotten a huge lead. 4 minutes left, 12-point lead over DeVry. Do you think DeVry can pull this one out?
Oh, no, not at all.
You don't think so?
It looks like they're pretty much done now.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad, but you never say it's done until the fat lady sings, right?
Yep. So when's your mom pulling her next concert?
Probably in about 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, she's probably got a good voice, but I've never heard, so I hear she got rave reviews, though. And Zebeda backs the pass again, and he can't handle his ball again.
Another ball drop.
Man, he's leading the team in drop passes by far already. So far with 2. You think he's going to continue this throughout the season, or you think he just needs a little time to warm up?
If he keeps losing that ball, he might as well be called Lance Armstrong.
Yeah. That's a good observation there, Desch. Alright, so the Spartans are forced to punt after Quinones drops the ball. And that was an awful punt. Expected of Hector, though. He's not a very good punter. He's more the bench warmer type of guy. And why are the Spartans celebrating? Maybe because it's the end of the first quarter and they really need a break. And they're like, woo, we need some Gatorade. So, and the Bolts feel pretty depressed right now because they're down by 4.
Ooh.
Yeah, but they're the underdogs, even though they're ranked ahead of us by 1 spot on the rankings.
As you were saying, Hector's not been on his game recently since he lost all his money in that company, HeckNet.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad venture for him. He invested all the money that he gotten from. He basically sold scholarships and these weird vouchers to students that wanted to attend his classes. He had some weird system set up and used that money for a startup company called HeckNet, which he had computer servers. It was an internet company, internet and telecommunications company, based out of Uganda, which had their servers dotted throughout Africa, which is kind of...
And somehow it was just taken over.
Yeah, it was taken over. So
the militia groups came in and wiped them all out. Who could have foreseen that?
Yeah. 3rd and 10 for the Bolts. And the quarterback drops back to pass on a beautiful diving catch, but it's just not enough to get the first. Good stop by the Spartans, even though they didn't really do much to stop them. There's 0 pass rush, and they're not getting to the quarterback. I think we need to see more sacks and more defensive stops from these Spartans in order to see them really take a dominant stance in this game.
And there's the punt. Ooh, just off to the side.
Dave's going to try to bring it back, and he gets about 7 yards out of it before getting dropped. David Quinones is a good return man. He's just not that great of a receiver. He has his days, though. Maybe he'll warm up throughout the season and get better as time progresses.
One can only hope.
Zebeda approaches the line. Looks like they're going to run it off to the right-hand side with Contreras. Hands it off to Mark.
Look at him go. Look at him go.
Oh, and
right
nice
through that guy.
But he only gets about 8, but hey, that's
just short of the first down.
It's better than what he's been doing so far. Man, he just bounced off that tackler like he was nothing. Do you think they should stick with the run game, or do you think they should go back to passing again?
I think the run game was helping them that time. And I think they should try and stick to it just for a couple plays and see how it works out for them.
Hopefully it'll help wear down this defense.
Contreras up again, gets the first down.
And we're going to go to a studio update. Whoa, DeVry pulled off the win.
Well,
winning
back from nowhere.
Yeah, he came down from 12 points down with 4 minutes to go and won 30-29. How do you do that?
Well, some teams are just that talented.
You think we'll see that kind of magic from the Ames Academy Bolts today?
The Bolts aren't known for coming back.
Well, you know they're not, but...
They're just known for coming.
The Bolts. That's why they call them the Bolts, I guess. Oh, Contreras tried to do some crazy wildcat play, but it didn't really work. He got 3 yards. This offensive line, they need to sign some new recruits because this offensive line is pretty abysmal right now.
Well, if Contreras keeps doing the Harlem Shake, I don't think we'll get anything done.
Yeah. Well, there's a pass to Broseph. Broseph finally tallying his first catch of the season. He does a quick little...
Beautiful catch right there.
That was a beautiful catch. I'm sure he's seen better, though. And he gets
ready for it.
Tackled by, like, half the team. And Broseph, usually not one to celebrate. I guess since it's a special occasion being the first catch of the season, he's a little happy about it. Zepeda approaches the line. It's first down.
It looks like we're going to see another running play coming through here.
It looks like Fox is in the backfield, though.
Oh, wow.
Fox has got a lot more speed than Contreras, but he just can't bounce off
that power.
He does not have the power.
That makes it 2nd and 2.
And he made about 8 yards off that, looks like. He's pretty pleased with himself. A little smug. Yeah. He's quite smug. Yep, he got 8 yards on that. So let's see where they're going to go now. They approach the line here, and it's Zepeda out of the shotgun formation, it looks like.
He's going to pass play. Ooh.
He gets the first on a pass to Quinones, who looks like he's injured on the play. The other players don't seem to care, and they just step on him. That should be a fine right there to the school's athletic department.
Cheerleaders seem to be happy.
Yeah, I guess they knew that David was going to try to sabotage the team, so like he did in the great that great Sun Bowl game of '07 where they lost to Temple. Oh, and a beautiful catch by Broseph. Joe Cokes with the catch in the end zone. Let's take a look at that one again. What did you see wrong with the defense on this play?
There was no one home in the defense this time. They looked spread out. They didn't even know where they were. They forgot to even show up for the game.
They gotta account for Broseph. You always have to account for the tight end, and Zepeda's always gonna go to the tight end when nobody else is available.
And that's a good kick right there. Bring us up to 14 versus 3.
14-3, and we're about halfway through the second quarter. So. And the kickoff is right inside the end zone, but
right down the line.
Gay's going to return it. And we got to about the 30 maybe, the 30-yard line it looks like. Almost the 30. You got to the 29. What do you think that the Spartans should change anything in their defensive strategy at this point in the game?
Their defensive strategy is pretty good. It's working for them so far. If so, I think they should focus more on stopping the running plays since we've seen several times going through so far.
Especially the quarterback. I think they need to keep an eye on the quarterback. The quarterback likes to rush. If they keep an eye on him and keep him out of the game, then that should prove to be pretty useful for the Spartans. All right, they're lining up on 2nd and 9. The quarterback's going to take it on the keeper, and they stop him. See, there's that run stoppage you were talking about. Maybe they heard you.
One could only hope.
You never know. Hopefully, we need to see the Spartans come out in full gear if we want to have a successful season. What we haven't seen yet are any sacks, though. We haven't seen any big... Oh! There's a sack by David Case. Wow, I spoke...
the devil, and he shows up.
Yeah, I spoke too soon on that one. David Case is he just lit up the quarterback. Man, we need to see more of that. We need more pass rush for this team. If they manage to take advantage of the weak offensive line of the Bolts, they'll have a field day with this quarterback. And it looks like they're going to punt on 4th down. Wise choice?
Sounds like a good choice. It's what I'd do. Especially seeing how close they are. And you want to get that ball downfield so the team can't get up there.
Good call. Good call. Best play-by-play man in the business. Well, color at least. I'm the best play-by-play man in the business.
Oh.
Yeah, you're color commentator, so that's not an insult to you by any means.
What are you saying? I'm racist?
No, I said you're a color commentator, not a... Jeez.
You call me black, bro?
I'm not calling you black. I'm calling you a color commentator. Whoa, looks like David Quinones, man, he's coming back from that injury, and it looks like Jesus has got some pretty good stats today. 126 yards, 7 for 11. Looks like
Looking
they're
pretty good.
gonna run it up the
Oh.
middle with Markin. He gets stuffed at the line, getting only a yard. Man, that interior offensive line just needs some work because we are not getting any runs out at all, past 10 yards at least.
Not at all.
What do you think that the most important parts of the team needs to be recruited this season?
I think we're doing pretty good on passes and play.
Oh, and a touchdown! Not meaning to cut you off, but what a beautiful catch by David Quinones. Maybe that's the little spark that he needed coming back from that injury. He was angry because he got a bruised sternum. And let's take a look at that again.
Look at that catch.
That was a beautiful catch and a pretty well thrown ball there.
Almost lost his footing, but got back to it and was able to make that play.
And dive for no reason. And the Spartans are up 20-3 with 2 minutes left to go in the half. Now 21-3. Do you give the Ames Academy Bolts any shot of returning?
Not at all. It looks like the Spartans have put a pretty big score up on the board. It's just halftime.
Yeah, it could only get worse from here, unless the Ames Academy Bolts can feed off of their hometown crowd, which is only split half and half, so it's more like a neutral area than a home field advantage really at this point. Got a pretty good return off that though. Maybe that's the spark that they need to get a little bit of decent field position.
Yeah, it seemed to really be working for them there. And see if they can make this next play count and get to it first. If not, then there might be no hope for them.
You're gonna count them out after 21-3. If they can't get
Pretty-
anything going here.
If they can't get it going here, then they might not have any chance after the half.
A nice little pass out to the
Ooh.
flat. Number 83's got it.
There
Oh,
he
and
goes.
Goldstein makes the touchdown saving tackle. I don't know.
That was a pretty good play.
That was a very good play. And the ref's going into a seizure of some sort. You need to get medical personnel down there on the double. Look at this pass out to the flat to number 83.
Ooh,
He
just
just-
shy.
He just dodges and everything, and Goldstein managed to push him out of bounds. Some force. Maybe you won't try that again. Not in my house, Joel says. There's a player you don't see too often there, Abel Lopez. What do you think he's going to do this year?
Ooh. That's a hard one to say.
Ooh,
Oh,
he almost got the quarterback
Almost
for a
got the
sack
sack.
there. You think he's going to have an impressive year, or think he's gonna be a dud like pretty much all of his other years he's played in Jewett?
well, this is one of the years that he's said to do pretty good. He's been really focusing hard on his practicing, so one could only hope that he's really looking to step up his game.
Oh, Chris
Oh,
Cataldi
wow.
just speared the quarterback and injured him in the process. Looks like he's got a ruptured spleen there. I'm no doctor, but that's my first guess. Look at this. Cataldi just lines him up and just guts him.
Ooh,
Man, that's just a brutal hit. Think the quarterback's going to be able to come back after that one?
not at all.
Not at all. Well, we'll see. These players have a lot of heart. They're not playing in this conference for no reason. All right, we'll see what the... well, there was a fumble on the play, but the Bolts managed to get it back, fortunately. So it's 3rd and 3, and this is crunch time for them. They need to get a conversion in order to stay in this game.
4 yards for first, and
And
no, they do
don't
not have
get
it.
On 4th and 1, what do you think they should do? Should they go for it or kick the field goal and maybe get the safe 3 points?
And they should go for the safe 3 points and kick the field goal. That'd be the best bet. At least they can get some points and start working their way back up. And
That sounds like a pretty good choice, actually. And it would put them down by only 2 scores if they got a 2-point conversion on a touchdown. But they have to be able to score touchdowns first, which they haven't done yet. They've put together some impressive drives, but just haven't gotten anything together. And it looks like there was a penalty on the offense, which pushes them back even further. 4th and 6 now. You think they can still kick the field goal from there? That's a 50-yarder.
it doesn't look like they could, but they're going for
We're
it.
going to try. We'll see. 38 lines up to kick this ball. A 50-yard field goal, maybe a 49-yarder. The kick is up,
Ooh,
and it's
that's
good.
good, just barely.
Just barely in through the uprights. 49-yarder by Horn of the Bolts. So, what do you say if you're the Spartans right now? A minute left in the half. you get the ball back after halftime? Do you play conservative and run out the clock, or do you pass it and try to run up the score?
I think they should pass it and try and run up the score if I was them. They've already got a pretty good lead though, but one more score and they could just hold the game for the rest of the time they have.
So you're more with the idea of getting the poll voters to see an impressive victory and vote them up the rankings instead of them playing conservative for sportsmanship reasons.
Oh yes, they've always been in there to win it and never really played really conservative.
No, they never have. They've always been. In fact, one year at Grambling State, I believe it was 2006, they put up over 100 points on the Grambling State Tigers.
Oh wow.
It was pretty bad. Yeah, it was definitely a sad day in Louisiana that day. Oh, it looks like they're running the hurry up, really going aggressive with this, like you had said. And Contreras gets the first. That stops the clock, and the Spartans take a timeout. So 33 seconds left on the clock to see if they can actually put some points up on the board before half.
I heard Contreras gets another stack of monsters for each first down he gets when he runs. Yes.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's quite a
sponsorship.
contingency. Whoa, that was almost caught by Smith, dropped, and then almost caught by the defense.
Oh wow.
That could have been disastrous if they wanted to put some points up before half. But fortunately, they dodged a bullet on that one. Zepeda, sometimes his decision making is questionable. He's dropping out for the short pass, and wow, he was way off the mark on that one. 3rd down and 10. You think they should pass it or just run out the clock at this point?
At this point, if they can't make a passing play, they should just run out the clock.
At this point, I think if they don't make the passing play, they're going to need a punt it, but you don't want them to. All right, so Jesus is going to drop back to pass. Oh, he throws a pick.
Interception.
Ooh. Oh, if he wouldn't have juked, he might have been able to get a lot more yards. So 18 seconds left. You think they're going to be able to get some points on the board before the end of the half?
That's pretty sketchy, but the way they've pushed through before, they could make it there. The Spartans are really putting their defense forward right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe the Bolts can get a field goal out of this at least, and try to make this a close game for them, so they can come out of the second half and hopefully get a defensive stop against the Spartans. But it's just not looking good for them right now.
With 18 seconds left into the half, let's see what they do. Looks like a running play.
Why would they do that? That just does not make sense. They have 3 timeouts. They're going to call their timeout. I think they're just getting closer for field goal, really. They're not playing for a touchdown right now. I think they're just trying to make this a respectable game, and they're not really playing to win. They're not going to win this game if they just keep trying to kick field goals.
That's true. Well, they're within field goal range right now. It seems like they're just trying to push up and get closer.
And that one was a little bit off the mark. Doesn't look like the receiver tried too hard on that one. That's why he's not playing for the Spartans.
Yeah, he was up this year for the pick, but after looking at their record,
yep, his 40 times were awful. He didn't try too hard at his scouting day. Oh, and it was thrown away. Yeah, not really good. 6 seconds left. 3rd down. They can probably get a play in, but they're just going to kick the field goal instead. He's got good range. Oh, and the Spartans are calling timeout to try to ice the kicker. What a great, classy move by the Spartans. Trying to ice the kicker when the game isn't even on the line. And he's going to line up for the kick. And it's good. He is a great kicker. But unfortunately, they only got a field goal out of it, and they're still down by 2 scores. So they are down by 12 points.
3 seconds left till the halftime.
And Quinones fair catches in the end zone so they get another play. Wow. These guys are really trying to juice everything they can out of these final seconds of the half.
Oh yeah, they're not too happy about that field goal that was just made.
I don't think the Ames Academy Bolts are too happy about that fair catch that was called. They were expecting to go into the locker room, and there's a flag
on the play.
Looks like there was a
1 second
jump.
left.
Oh, it looks like there was a jump by the defense, which I'm not sure if it extends the half or not. And the Spartans, of course, accept it and get 5 yards, but it doesn't matter because they end the half anyway, which is dumb because you shouldn't have to end the half on a penalty. They should get a retry. But it doesn't matter because they were running up the score. And the Leprechaun's happy.
Here we are at the half, 21-9.
So, what is your take on the game so far?
So far, the Spartans have been showing some real class out there. Just trying to run the ball down and score as much as they can like they always have.
What do you think of this effective passing attack?
Well, they're doing pretty good on the passing. I think they should run it a lot more.
Wear out that defense, huh?
Yeah. It's still early in the season for them, so they've got a lot of work to do still.
Well, let's take a look at the game track. Looks like Cody Fox had a pretty good reception there earlier on, and then the interception by Hall seemed to be a game breaker there, and the touchdown pass from Zepeda to Cokes, that pretty much put the icing on the first half. So the Spartans are up 21-9, and while the Spartans are got quite a decent lead, the Bolts do have a little bit of momentum on their side. They need to stop this opening drive, though. And Contreras just gets hung up on his blockers. This is very uncharacteristic of him. You know why his game isn't just.
You must have just had a free snack during the half. And it'd be the only thing I could think would slow him down right now.
Monster and a Cosmic Brownie's usually what he has.
I heard that always helps, but maybe he went a little wild and made 2 Cosmic Brownies.
That can have an effect. And for a studio update, 2 teams we don't care about. Anyway, so you think that the 2 Cosmic Brownie effect had a big play on Mark's performance today?
Oh yes, I definitely do. It weighs him down a lot more, and I think it brings out that knee injury.
Yeah, that knee injury. We'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the season. And it looks like Jesus is going to throw it to Chris Smith. Wow.
With the first down.
And he gets his first catch of the game. Jesus has gone 9 for 17 for 186 yards this game. Not too bad. A pretty average performance by Zepeda so far. But 2 really big passes earlier on in the game for touchdowns. Do you think we'll see this passing attack stay steady throughout the season, or do you think it'll die down?
I think it will die down. I think they're just trying to work out their passing game for when it really counts later in the season right now.
They need to work on the running game so they can set up the passing game, honestly. That running game's the meat and potatoes of this offense. With Mark not performing up to his standards, we might see an increase in the passing attack. Oh, look at that.
Look at Mark go.
He gets about a good 25 to 30 yards on that play.
And
what a
pushed out
carry.
at the 20.
That makes it first and 10.
He seems pleasantly pleased at that play.
Oh, yes.
The
Look
replay
at
on
this. He just juked the guy out of his sneakers, and he gets tackled out of bounds at around the 20. So this opening drive, they're definitely showing their force here with already in the red zone early in the third quarter.
Ready to make a comeback. Even though they're up ahead, they're still trying to get.
They're trying to get momentum back. They're trying to get momentum back. And Fox gets the ball, but he just can't do anything with it. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. And you can see he's frustrated at the line. The line's just not doing their job today. So there you see Cody. He had the 0-yard rush there. So they're going to try to hand it off to him again, it looks like, judging by this formation.
Oh, wow, look at him go. He's got it.
You could have drove a truck
straight
through
through the referee.
I think it's a ghost referee. Did you know the NCAA hired ghost referees this season?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah,
that's quite impressive.
Yeah, because of the great debacle of last year, where the referee got involved with the game because he was betting on the game and fixed the game by swatting away the pass of one of Le Cordon Bleu's quarterback's passes.
Oh, that's not right.
It was going to decide the game, and they lost to Latin Beauty College in that game by 3 points.
And here we go.
Oh,
So
he's
close to the
running an audible
line.
there at the line there, and he's
And
looking end zone.
throw it
Oh,
in.
Sam
Just
Fisher.
knocked away.
Sam Fisher can't come up with that. Sam Fisher is usually a pretty consistent receiver, but we don't see a whole lot of production out of him because he's mainly used as a blocker.
I don't know what they're trying to do by passing to him, but at least they're cycling through, trying to see what he's actually good at, and marched straight up the middle.
He fights for it. They make him earn it, but he fights off about 3 defenders before pushing into the end zone. And that guy.
The crowd is livid.
The crowd is. The Spartans crowd is excited, but the Bolts crowd is just livid. They think this game is fixed. They think Ghost Ref had something to do with it.
And maybe a little bit, but it's doubtful.
They should be blaming their own team because their own team hasn't been able to put the ball in the end zone. They've been just kicking field goals. So now after that touchdown, the Spartans are up 28-9. You give the Bolts any remote chance?
At this point, it's hard to say because they've shown some real skill in play with the interception that they got just in the second half. They really have to come back on this one.
They need to put in the end zone. That's without a doubt. They need to get a touchdown. Without a touchdown, they aren't going to do anything. This game will pretty much end touchdowns to field goals if this pace keeps going the way it's going so far. So 1st and 10, this new drive for the Bolts, and he fakes the pass.
Wow.
And
is he gonna run it? He's running. Look at him go!
Wow, he gets the first and slides. I'm surprised Abel Lopez didn't take his head off with that. But
we've seen the Bolts have been doing this the whole game.
Didn't we say this earlier that the quarterback somebody was gonna need to keep an eye on the quarterback because he likes to take off and run it?
Oh yeah. And it seems like they can't stop him every time he does it. He gets up there.
They need to run some quarterback spy plays is what they need to do.
But when they really need him to run it in towards the end zone, he never does. They always just pass it.
Hey, aren't the Bolts missing one player that if they had one player on their team, they would be doing a lot better?
That brings up 2nd and 13.
Oh, you're talking about Dreadmaster.
Yeah, Dreadmaster.
He is not there this year.
What happened?
I heard he killed someone. There's a big news scandal about it. He was into drugs and was in a bar fight, killed someone over a prostitute. But it's okay.
Oh, and then an
wow.
interception by Ty Hall, 2nd of the game. Wow. I would put him on the short list of defensive MVPs for this season for our team. Don't you think so?
Oh yes, definitely. And the leprechaun celebrating.
He's doing the Booker T thing where he puts the hand in front of his face. It's really tragic about the Dreadmaster. He had a lot of potential and getting into that conflict over a prostitute.
Yeah.
Did that take place in the States or in Europe?
And that was actually in Uganda.
Did he have anything to do with HeckNet?
There was worse about it, but there's also people thinking that maybe he was the one that led the militia groups in there to destroy HeckNet.
That's so sad. So sad. I feel bad for Hector. He's trying to earn his money and earn his way back in the NFL to recoup some of that money lost in the HeckNet scandal. And Dreadmaster was a part of it. I never even knew that. That's sad. And Dreadmaster had a lot of potential. Maybe we'll see one of his relatives. He has many cousins in the Dreadmaster family that also play football. So maybe we'll see them come along and maybe even play for some of the teams that STFU play against.
He's got a lot of family out there: Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. He's got about 40 cousins. All look about the same. Big black men.
Well, that's good. Oh, and another interception by
this
the
might
Bolts.
be what the Bolts need to come back.
Doubtful.
I wouldn't completely write the Bolts off yet.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna start criticizing if one of the Spartan players was helping up one of the Bolts players. And you see this interception. He threw it right to the guy. You got to realize, Jesus makes a lot of... Wow. He was really carrying that ball close to his body. He didn't want to let it go. But Zepeda makes a lot of mistakes that are pretty obvious. He throws into triple coverage a lot. He overthrows and underthrows his receivers a lot. So let's see if the Bolts can capitalize on his mistake.
Oh!
An interception right back.
Cataldi going for it.
Cataldi Look at how he was carrying the ball. He was carrying the ball the total opposite of the other guy. He's holding it down by his side and out in front of him. And look at that, just palming the ball.
Just not giving a fuck today.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't fumble that. He just got tripped up, and he's like, well, see you later. And Leprechaun's definitely happy. So
he's asking the crowd, where's my weed? Where's my weed?
probably somewhere over the rainbow. And so you have the Spartans knocking on the door of the end zone again. They were at the 22, almost in the red zone. So looks like they're gonna run it with Fox, and he just gets stuffed with the line. He's just too fast of a runner to be trying to run inside the tackles like that. If they're gonna run with Fox, they need to jump him to the outside.
And Fox isn't doing very good on those handoffs. I think they should leave it to Contreras.
Yeah, I believe so. He's their number one guy, and he's been their number one guy for the past 7 years.
And
he gets the
Contreras.
ball, but he gets stopped in the backfield. He just can't break that tackle. If he did, he would add probably a first down, and Jesus Cepeda is definitely showing his displeasure with Contreras' effort on that one. Out of the shotgun.
Another passing play.
And he's got a wide open David Quinones in the end zone for the touchdown. Not even close. What were they thinking on that play?
No, they weren't thinking. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. They pushed coverage, and he just blew right by him with his pretty good speed. And
Spartans up here, another good field goal. Score stacked 35-9.
No more.
The Bulls look like they have no chance of coming back.
With 2 minutes left in the third quarter, I would say that it's looking pretty bad for them right now. They need to put something together now.
Ooh. And nailed to the ground on that sack.
Let's take a look at the game track here. Here you see that long interception again by Ty Hall, and then the second one he made in the same game. Cataldi also. Turnovers have been the story of this team. They've had chances to capitalize, but they've thrown interceptions and been able to only put up field goals. Look at that. 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and only barely over 50 yards in passing. That's pretty pathetic of a passing display by this Bolts team.
Oh, they've been running it a lot. And it looks like they might try and run it again.
Oh,
wow.
he throws it. And he
wow.
gets the ball to his receiver for the first.
I'm surprised he didn't run it on that one. He was wide open to run.
He could have easily ran that one for a first down, but I don't know why this Spartans team hasn't learned from their mistakes yet.
And the Bolts do have pretty good defense this game. They're holding up pretty good.
And you see them celebrating. They have no reason to celebrate right now. They need to get down to business. They don't want to anger this Spartans team, trust me.
Well, they've mainly been running it, and for them to make a passing play, that's something to celebrate for.
I guess so. They haven't had much this game to celebrate about, so why not now? 1:49 left in the third.
Another flag on the play.
Looks like a false start on the offense there. That's going to cost the Bolts 5 yards. So that's going to push them back to us 1st and 15, so that kind of takes a huge chunk off of what they just made on that nice passing play that they were over-celebrating. Maybe they should focus more on getting the ball snapped for the next play than jumping around like a bunch of fairies.
Let's see if the Spartans can break their defense. Not looking likely.
That offensive line is just too powerful for the Spartans. Hopefully we see these guys getting back in sync like they were last season, able to cut through and get to the quarterback a lot more often, get some pressure, because he has all day in the pocket, and when he doesn't have all day in the pocket, he just takes off and runs it for 10 yards.
Oh yeah, they need 3 yards for a first down right here, and it looks like
they're not going to get it in
a
a fumble, but it looks like the Bolts recovered again. The second fumble recovered by the Bolts, but they didn't get the first. Oh, looks like we're going to go up to a booth review to see if that was really a fumble. Well, that was a quick booth review. And it looks like the play is overturned. I guess the ball wasn't fumbled. I guess his knee was down before he fumbled the ball. Oh, no.
Well.
Yeah, I guess the play stood. Never mind. I guess I misheard the referee there.
There we go. Just over a minute left in the third.
3rd and 1.
They really need this first down right now.
They really got a rush on the quarterback. but a beautiful pass in the flat under pressure. That's the kind of pressure we needed to see from the Spartans, but it just wasn't good enough that time.
Oh, not at all. They're not playing like they've normally played in the past.
But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough that play. I guess the Bolts just wanted that first down a lot more. Looks like they're running some audibles there. That the defense is changing up their lineup there.
It looks like Spartans still trying to break through that offensive line.
That offensive line is just killer right now.
Oh, and here we go. He's
Tom
running.
Danton with the hit. Not in my house.
Man.
What do you think of Tom Danton? Young stud linebacker, right?
Oh, yeah. He's really getting out there and playing. When he sees something, he goes for it.
Oh, yeah. He won't leave the light on for you, by the way.
I was hoping he would, but...
Eh. One player that's been relatively quiet this game is Joel Goldstein. Usually he puts up some stats, but he's been pretty quiet. He made that touchdown-saving tackle. Oh, almost got a... Oh, he missed the tackle there.
Like I said, he's still trying to raise his stats above 1. So.
Well, usually he's a team-leading tackler. I mean, he's just been pretty quiet today. We'll see. Maybe he'll warm up during the season there.
Hopefully he will. And he's still got a long ways to go into this season.
Oh, yeah. You see Corrigan Contreras just get stiff-armed. Corrigan's quite a young player, but I think he's got a lot of potential.
Oh, yeah. He's freshly on the team, just trying to get out there and make plays.
He got recruited out of junior college, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He actually he went to some place in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he only attended for a semester. He was taking underwater basket weaving or something like that, and said he didn't really like the course selection, so we recruited him here to STFU, and Roy Falker's been pretty pleased with his off-season performance. And we're at the end of the third. Score is 35-9 in favor of the Spartans. And of course, we've already said several times that the Bolts don't look like they have much of a chance, but they are knocking on the door. Do you think they might be able to get pretty much just a trash touchdown here?
Well, like you said, trash touchdown is what they need. It would be something to at least try and close that gap from the Spartans.
Make it look a little less embarrassing than what the experts would have picked.
Oh, yeah. It's not looking likely for them here. I think about their only best bet is to kick another field goal for them, which is not helping them out at all.
Nope, not at this point. I'd go for it on fourth if I were them. Oh, looks like
and they are.
Spartans are bringing the rush. Eric Tualba. Oh, and the touchdown. He held on to it. Man.
Surprising touchdown right there.
He took a hit, too. Looked like Justin Edwards hit him with the right in the back. Man, how did he hold on to that one? You think you could have made that catch?
Oh, I definitely could have made that catch.
Well, why don't you suit up then?
It's not my kind of game, though.
Oh, okay. What's your game?
Yeah. I'm more the other football kind of fan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it looks like we're taking a break right now. Another word from our sponsors. Depends. The best you can get.
The best you can get.
Sponsored by Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan actually, he wears the pants. Let's take a moment to honor Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, brother.
Okay, well, so we're having some technical difficulties here, so our feed's kind of offline right now, so we'll just sit here and tell you about some of the other games coming up. We got the VTI Vipers, I believe, coming up next, and what do you think about the VTI Vipers?
Oh, the Vipers, they're a strong team. Really know how to stick it to them. If they really want to beat these Spartans, they got to be into it.
Yeah, well, and we're back, and it looks like the Ames Academy Bolts have come back to life and kicked the extra point.
Oh, wow. And still with only less than half the score of the Spartans, I don't think they can make a returning play come back.
With 6 minutes and 34 seconds left, they're not going to onside kick it. So I think they're pretty much conceding this game.
I think they're just giving the Spartans the win now.
Well, I don't know if they've played pretty hard, and I think that they've only played not to get totally annihilated. Pretty much is what they've done.
Oh yeah.
They've only played good enough to not get destroyed.
That offensive line is the best thing they've got going for them this game. If they can keep that throughout the season, they could probably go somewhere.
You think they can make it to a bowl game, perhaps?
Oh, they could definitely make it to a bowl game if they just work on extending their defensive out there.
And the receivers. And their running back.
If they do it.
And their quarterback's throwing ability. Yeah.
Well, their quarterback's more of a runner anyways.
Yeah.
He should be one of the wide receivers.
He should be one of the wide receivers. He worked good in a wildcat formation, that's for sure. And it's 3rd and 11, and the Spartans are going to probably try to pass it here, knowing how aggressive they like to play. Looks like he's going to go for a short pass here. And he lets the ball go, and Quinones catches it, but just not enough for the first down. What do you think? Why do you think they ran such a short pass there instead of going for the first?
I think they're feeling a little bit of bad for the Bolts here, but it's the Bolts.
It's the Bolts. You know, there's a rivalry here, like we said earlier, the ping pong tournament of back in the 1920s, when they were sponsored by the what was it? The
Aeronautical, Technological.
Oh, that was the name of the Ames Academy Bolts, but they were by the Postal Service.
Oh, that's right. Sponsored by the Postal Service of the United States.
Oh, what a great defensive play. I don't know who that was. I think that might have been Goldstein, but I'm not sure. Trying to get up over that one tackle hump there. That's usually the hardest one to get over. And it looks like they're going with the 3-man defensive front there. Not going to put too much pressure on that quarterback like they have in all game.
He's got a lot of time to throw there.
And it's picked off by Goldstein.
Goldstein coming out from nowhere. Look at him go.
Wow, he just shook some tacklers and finally got tackled to around the 35-yard line. So, do you think that that helps his numbers look a little better getting over that one tackle hump?
Definitely. That might be one of the best things he could do this season right there.
You think so?
Oh,
Early
yeah.
on. That's pretty ballsy of a statement to make, that Goldstein won't have that many more good games in front of him. I think he will.
Only time can tell. Only time can tell.
I think you have something against Joel Goldstein. I think you feel that he's an inferior player to other players on the team for some reason.
Oh, not at all.
Not at all?
He's a Spartan.
He's a Spartan, okay. Well, there's a Dreadmaster in the background. I think that's his first cousin, Rufus III. Rufus Dreadmaster III. Have you heard anything about him in the scouting reports?
I've not actually heard anything about Rufus.
He's a bench player for the Bolts, so that's probably why. And Contreras takes it up the middle for a good, probably 12 yards. And
Good run.
Good run, but he's had a pretty quiet day today. He hadn't really done too much. Who have you been most impressed with in this game so far?
It's hard to say. Zepeda's doing pretty good on the running plays.
I think Quinones has been making Zepeda look pretty good today with those beautiful catches he's made. And Broseph had a pretty good day so far.
Quinones wasn't looking pretty good in the beginning.
No.
Now he's actually showing that he really does know how to handle his ball.
That he does. He will only get better throughout the season, I believe, though. Until he gets to that point in the season where he says, screw this team, and decides to sabotage us. He's done that before, trust me.
Fox.
Yep, Cody Fox with the run. 3 yards off to the side, and just can't get enough going. And you can tell the ref's jumping in the background for some reason, and I don't know why.
Well, Fox is pretty fast, but he just can't run it through the line.
No, he needs.
Defense gets him every
Oh,
time.
we got a flag on the field.
Ooh.
Oh, but Quinones has the catch, and he's running. He's
going.
He's close to the 10-yard line.
Just out at the 11.
However, there's a flag on the field, and it looks like an encroachment or an offsides on the defense. So the Spartans are going to decline that and just take the yards that they got from the catch by Quinones, who I said earlier would be my player of the game, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
He's been pretty impressive. I think Ty Hall has been very good on defense with his 2 interceptions. as well.
I think on this play, their best bet would be to pass it to Contreras and see him run it up. And that's exactly what they do.
But they only get 5 yards on the play, and it'll be second down. They can run a little bit of clock.
They've got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock right now. I think they've got time. The only second.
And he didn't get quite close to the goal line there. 3rd and 3, and they're really running to hurry up. They really want to run up the score. It's kind of a poor sportsmanship, but what do you think?
Oh, there's Spartans. No other Spartan would do less than this.
I guess not. We'll see. Looks like they're trying to figure out the play at the line here. They're going to go into a goal line formation to try to punch the ball in, maybe with Contreras. Finally get him in the end zone again to get him a 2-touchdown game.
And here they go again.
And
Contreras just barely gets it before being tackled.
He fights in, and you see
Al Roker is real happy on the sidelines.
You mean Coach Roy Fokker?
Oh, it's hard to tell. They look about the same.
Yeah, they do look pretty similar. But Coach Fokker has that patented ball cap and suit combo that he wears to every game.
Al Roker's not known for wearing a ball cap. He does wear a suit though.
He does wear a suit.
And the kick is good.
And it's 42-16. Well, 38 seconds left in the fourth. It's pretty much academic at this point. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Maybe the Bolts are going to just run down the clock just to end this misery.
That would be the best thing they could do right now, unless they're actually going to try to go for it.
How do you think the outlook is for the Bolts next week?
Next week, they're playing a worse team than the Spartans, and they've got a sure game to win, but the Spartans are pretty good.
Spartans are pretty good. They're ranked number 8 in the country for a reason. How do you see this game affecting the Spartans' ranking?
I could see it really boosting their ranking with this high play game.
Where would you put them at right now? After this week, where would they jump from 8 to?
I could see them moving to 6th or a 5th spot easily after this.
Okay, well, we'll see after this game where they end up. And you see they're just running out the clock, but they're calling their timeout still, which I don't quite understand. They say we want to run out the clock, but we don't really.
They might be looking to close that gap just a little more, so it's not as embarrassing and hurt their team.
Yeah, because 23-42 looks a lot better than 42-16. And they get the first. Why couldn't their offense played like this earlier in the game?
I just don't think they felt the pressure then.
I guess not. They should have. Somebody needed to light a fire up under their butts, but it looks like the Spartans are going to go home with a very convincing win. And the next week they play VTI. I'm pretty sure they're playing at VTI, and that looks like a possible challenge for them. But they should win that one. If they took the Ames Academy Bolts this easy, the VTI Vipers shouldn't be too much of a challenge.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like the final seconds are winding down off the clock, and that's the end of the game.
That's the end of the game.
So, who do you think will need to improve next week, going into next week's game for the Spartans?
It seems like Contreras seems to really need to work on his game and lay off those monsters, but with that sponsorship, I think it's going to be pretty difficult for him.
I think so too. Well, let's take a look at the play of the game where Zepeda throws it to Quinones for an impressive catch and just in triple coverage, but he seemed to have had the coverage beat. That was Fox actually. I'm sorry. That was Fox that made that catch. Sorry about that, Cody. Well, I'm sure you might see this and be disappointed, but there you see the coach giving each other the handshake, and the Ames Academy Bolts walking off the field dejected. And our player of the game is David Quinones, 8 receptions, 154 yards, and some touchdowns thrown in there too. So,
great game so far.
It was a great game and a great season so far. What a great way to start it. And that's the end of this broadcast. For Desch Belvadeir, I am Chip Pipkins. Thank you for joining us, and see us next week when we take on the VTI Vipers.
Oh yeah. Brought to you by Pipkins.
Brought to you
Only-
by the Pins.
Only for real Americans.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. I am a real
Do it.
Fight for your life.